Here we're going to show you a bit about the counter on your Patriot. This counter is counting in footage and it is set to count in tenths of a foot. Hence the decimal point. The top row of numbers, that is the current count in red. The green is what our preset would be. We can have the machine stop at a preset value, and it's very easy to set that. And we set that by pressing this left arrow key. Notice a digit is blinking. Use the up and down arrow keys to set that digit. I can also go with the left arrow key to select the digit. So let's just say I want to do 10. I already have the 1 there. Come over and make this 5 a 0. Now I press this MD button one time to set it. And notice my yellow light came on here. Maybe hard to see on the video, but that is because my count was currently 37.5 and I set it to preset at 10. So what's going to happen at 10, let me reset that to 0. And at this point, if I was to run the machine, again we're counting in footage, when I approach the 10-foot mark, it's going to stop and decelerate. And if you're familiar with this, of course, we have a little bit of overrun, so we count at 10.7 feet. So the idea now would be to probably set this counter to stop at 9.3 feet at the speed we were running at, which is approximately 80 feet a minute. So one thing about this counter that's different than the past pace machines is this has no rate, this has no totalizer. This is a very basic counter. Pretty much all it's doing in this case is counting in footage that is scalable. And I'm going to show you real quick how to access the scaler. And the formula for the scaler is quite easy, and that is in the manual of the machine. But we hold the MD button, which means mode, for 3 seconds. And now we see that the display changed. I'm going to keep on tapping on this. All of these things are settings that help the counter work for our application. And we do have a setting sheet to bring these back to the pace settings if you were ever to screw them up. But anyway, this is the scaler for footage. And how do we come about this? Basically, it's how many eighths of an inch are in a foot. So we know there's 96 eighths of an inch in a foot, and it's 1 divided by 96 gives us this number. Now to get out of this mode, we would hold mode for 3 seconds, and we're back in the running mode. One more time, I'm going to get back to that scaler, hold mode for 3 seconds, and just keep tapping on the mode key, brief taps, until we get to SCL, that means scaler. If I wanted to change this, a lot like setting the preset, up and down arrow keys, left arrow key selects the digit, up and down arrow key changes the value, press and hold mode to get out of that. So the scaler formula is how many eighths of an inch are in your part, or how many gear teeth in this case, because we're using 8th pitch gears, or in your part. You take that number, 1 divided by that number, and that is your scaler. Of course, you have to round it to 5 decimal points, or decimal places. And that's about it for the counter.